Do you guys remember being a kid and dreaming about sunglasses that could transport you to another world? Your own private movie theater right in front of your eyes? That childhood fantasy finally became a reality. And if you guys are like me, you've wanted a pair of these for a very long time. These are the XReal One AR Glasses, the world's first truly portable AR sunglasses designed for fully immersive all-day use. I've been using these for the past few weeks. Shout out to XReal for sending these over to me. I've been using these for the past couple of weeks now, and holy crap, I cannot imagine a life without them. Now, they did send me a unit to review, but that's not going to affect my opinion. Now, I've been waiting for a product like this to come to the market for about 20 years now. I saw this one episode of Phil of the Future as a kid in 2004, where Phil's little sister put on these pair of glasses that look just like regular sunglasses, but they're from the future and they could watch movies and TV shows and whatever you wanted. It had a little mini monitor in the glasses. I thought that was the coolest thing ever, and I knew one day it would become a reality. I'm giving away an Oculus Quest 2 at 20,000 subscribers, and I'm giving away a PS5 away at 30,000 subscribers. We are getting really close, guys. We are less than 1,000 subscribers away from 20,000. That means one of you guys is gonna get sent a free Oculus Quest 2. I've had it for a couple years in my closet. Just haven't been able to get rid of it yet because we haven't hit the 20,000 subscriber mark. So make sure you guys subscribe and ring that bell icon so you're alerted to all my new videos. But let's get back to the video. But basically, they were movie theater sunglasses that only the viewer could see. So everybody around them would not have any idea that they're watching anything. They just look like regular sunglasses. So now, here come the XReal Ones. These are pretty much straight out of the TV show 20 years ago in 2025. And these are one of XReal's two newest products that they have for 2025. The XReal Ones just came out in January. They were really highly showed off at CES. Actually, even Linus Tech Tips took a pair of the XReal One Pros, which are coming out later in March, onto Jimmy Fallon Tonight and showed everybody, and everybody was blown away. Bad Bunny lost his mind. And so did I when I saw these for the first time. So once you open the box, what you're gonna get is different nose studs, so you can switch out on the glasses depending on what your size nose is. I'm using the larges right now on mine because it is the most convenient for my nose, but they come in this nice little case, protective case with your USB cable. And like I've said, I've used these before, so I've already opened them and unboxed them. But this is a nice sturdy case. I actually prompted to pick up a different case on Amazon because I wanted a little more space so I didn't have to worry about ever scratching the glasses with the cable. I'll have a link to the sunglasses case in the description below if you want to check them out. I just got these in the mail a couple days ago. Fantastic cases, highly recommend. The main thing about these glasses is it's just one cable plugged in. All it takes is one wire through USB-C, and if you have the new iPhone or really any Android, that's pretty much most of your phones, and immediately as soon as you plug them in, you get audio and you're welcome to your home screen. And you can't see this right now, but I'm seeing my full screen on my face. It's a vertical screen, and the really cool thing is if I open Netflix, it'll transform into a sideways view, and the screen kind of goes dark. You don't really see it on the screen, so nobody can screen peek your phone. You don't even need to have your phone on. You can lock it, sit it down, and you can just sit here and watch your movie. Now, while I may call these AR, it's technically not AR, even though it is. There's 3 degrees of freedom, which is new for XReal, because back in the day for their older models, you had to have the XReal Beam or Beam Pro, and that would plug into a little box just about this size, and one cable would go into the glasses, the other cable would go into your device, and they would allow you to have 3 degrees of freedom by locking the screen in your view. But now it's just a setting. All you have to do is go through the menu, tap a few buttons, and you could press it to lock in place, and the screen will stay put right where you locked it, right in front of your face. The corners of the screen are very crisp, very HD. Now, I may call these AR glasses, but technically not really AR. They're 2.68-inch OLED displays from Sony that are mirrored onto a piece of plastic. I don't know if you can see that very well, but yeah, you can see there's a crooked, yeah, you can kind of see the, there you go, hold on. Yeah, you can kind of see the screen through there. It looks so much better. I wish I could give you guys a better example of what I'm talking about. And like I said, I may call them AR, but technically they're not. They don't display anything out in front of you besides a movie theater screen or your phone screen or your laptop screen or your gaming screen, because I like to use the RIG Ally X and the XReal glasses, and I play this in bed a lot at night. It's really cool. It really helps keep everything discreet and make sure it doesn't wake my girl up. Now, as for how it reflects, it's got got that transparent screen. But speaking of transparency, there are 3 different settings you might be able to see once I press these. So you can see, maybe not, I'm looking at my monitor, but I can see that there's 3 different levels of electromagnetic dimming. I think that's what it's called. Electrochromic dimming, one of the 2. Now, say you want to view the world around you. All you got to do is tap once to make brightness go a little dark, tap twice to make it go to the darkest, tap a 3rd time to see the world around you. I've brought these things to the gym. I've taken these things on a plane. It's completely changed the way that I view content. It makes playing video games so much more fun and enjoyable. Plane rides are now a lot more fun because I get a movie theater in front of my face. Like, who doesn't want that? And you can get a massive screen. It can go from like over 191 inches to an ultra wide that's like 230 plus inches. It's massive. You have a ton of options. The software keeps getting updated, so there's more improvements as time goes on. You can adjust how close the screen appears to your face. So like, I like the screen to look like it's pretty much right here on my face. But if you wanted to make it smaller and farther away, you could do that. And these don't have a manual IPD adjustment slider, but they do have some manual IPD adjustment software built in. So that way you can go in there and mess with your IPD. For me, everything feels very crisp and smooth and really nice for the most part. Unless you're looking at really tiny text, it's going to be difficult when you're shifting or moving your head anyway, no matter what. But all in all, for a 0.68 inch OLED display, everything looks incredible. The colors look fantastic. And once you go OLED, you just don't want to ever go back. And the XReal Ones and One Pros have a 120 hertz refresh rate. That means if you want to use an ROG Ally, whether you're gaming or watching a movie, you're going to be able to get up to 120 hertz on your display or 120 FPS, depending on if your game can handle it. But that means you get a high refresh rate when it comes to playing games, and you don't have to sacrifice your image quality or your frames per second when you're using these glasses. Now, what was really shocking to me is that I looked in the box and I thought there was going to be like some light blockers, and there's not. That electrochromic dimming actually is insane. I brought these to the dentist office a couple of days ago, and I was laying up. You guys know how the dentist has those bright, big lights over top of your head to see down your throat. Well, the electrochromic dimming basically blocked out 90% of that light. I mean, I'm looking at my soft boxes right now through the electrochromic dimming, and they're so dim, you can hardly tell they're there. If there's a person in front of you, you're not gonna see anything but the screen, and you can change that. Now, the screen is at practically 50 opacity. I can see my camera, I can see my monitors, I can see my dog, I can see the rest of my entire film studio if I want. I can press it again, block out a little more light. I can press it one more time and block out as much light as they could possibly block. And it blows my mind because if you have LED light strips around your house, you can look at the light strips and practically you can't see any light at all. That's insane. I was looking for plastic to cover the lenses because I knew older models of these AR type of glasses had to use black sun blockers. But now those sun blockers are a thing of the past because you don't need them. And there's a whole lot of ways to customize these. They have a lot of settings. They even have speakers built in from Bose that have pretty immersive quality sound. But the best way to get the best quality is I find you cup your hands around your ears. That has amazing sound quality. And if you don't cup your hands around your ears, the speakers are just not gonna be as loud. I do recommend using headphones if you don't have something to block around your ears the entire time. But that's a mini minor gripe. The sound quality is still great. It just doesn't echo into my ears all that well. You don't need headphones, but I totally recommend using headphones. And there's no battery at all in these glasses. Everything is ran off of one USB-C by your device. It does drain a little bit of power, and it does make your device die a little faster. Not so much depending on the device. Like for example, the ROG Ally X, I put it on 13-watt power mode. After about using them for 4 hours, it was about 30% drain. I think that's pretty good. And instead of needing an external puck like the XReal Beam or the Beam Pro, all the processing is done by their in-house chip, the XReal One X. It makes all the processing possible. It allows for 3 degrees of freedom. It allows for the screen to track your face movements. Say you move your face over here, the screen will follow. You move your face over here, the screen will follow. And I find myself using the follow mode quite a bit, especially let's say at the dentist when you're not gonna keep your head still. Let's say on a plane when you're gonna get uncomfortable and shift your head every few minutes. Really the best way to use the follow mode would be laying down in bed or sitting in a chair, and you could lock your screen in place in this position. And if you wanna shift your head, the screen will still be over here. But I like that the screen follows me. I can walk around, I can stick my phone in my pocket with the cable attached, and I can just do anything I want throughout throughout the house. There's also this little mode I like to call picture in picture. I'm not sure what it's actually called, but you can put a little mini screen of what you're watching in the corner of your glasses, so that way you can see what you're doing through the lenses. You can watch your screen. Let's say you wanted to wash dishes, or you had to walk your dog and you wanted to watch a show, but you also wanted to be aware of your surroundings. So you could put the little screen in the corner, and you could have the best of both worlds without having your phone in your hand. And the brightness on these glasses is pretty impressive, to say the least. These are 600 nits, which doesn't sound like a lot until you actually put them on and you have a bright white flash in your face. It feels like you got flashbanged in Call of Duty.
Oh, shit.
It's actually extremely bright, and the XReal One Pros are going to be 700 nits, so they're going to be even brighter. That's going to be terrifying, because sometimes I feel like these could already get so bright that some scenes hurt my eyes a little bit just because how bright the scene is. These glasses do have a little rocker on the bottom, though, that you could actually go back and forth and decide how much of the brightness you want. There's a slider on the bottom. And these have a 50-degree field of view, which doesn't sound like a lot, but when you're watching a movie, you don't really need a whole lot. 50 degrees is pretty good. The XReal One Pros will have 57 degrees. We'll see what that increase of 7 degrees looks like when I get my hands on them. XReal, you know what to do. But right now, the XReal Ones are more than enough, and I'm completely satisfied with the 50 degrees field of view and the 600 nits. And these are super comfortable. They only weigh 84 grams, and I've been able to wear these for hours on end. I'm talking about 5+ hours on a plane. 4 hours I spent at the dentist the other day. That was a nightmare, but I was super comfortable while wearing them the entire time. And the great thing is they don't lock you out of the world. You don't feel like you're shutting the rest of the world off, because you can see everything under and around the sides of your glasses. Doesn't matter how far you push them up to your eyes, I can still see and feel the world around me. I don't feel like I'm blocking anybody out. You can do something like this similarly with the Quest 3, although the problem is with the HDMI link that they recently added, you just have to have a VR headset strapped to your face, and you're just like, it's like you're locked out from the outside world. Even if you're using pass-through, it's just like your partner, your girlfriend, your roommates, not gonna really exist when you're in that headset. This allows you to stay in the real world while having your media with you the entire time. Now, as I mentioned before, these do have 4 different display modes. Follow, which has to be my favorite. Anchor, which will stay stuck where you place it. You point, click a button, and it'll stay there. You can move your head around, it'll still stay there. Ultra wide, which is a cool setting if you want to connect it to a laptop or a device that will allow ultra wide. And it can be like a 230-inch round ultra wide curved screen on your face, which is pretty insane. And that side-by-side mode I was talking about earlier is actually called the side view, where you can have your content playing in any corner of the screen that you want for multitasking. And for all my gaming enthusiasts, the screen input delay is only at 3 milliseconds. So you're not gonna really have much of a delay, whatever you're doing. It's good enough for your high-end, fast-paced games like racing or Call of Duty, first-person shooters, whatever you want. This is gonna be perfect. I played it, it's good enough for me, it's good enough for you. Now, due to the new advances with the X1 chip, they've been able to improve the optics engine. So there's no shaking on the screen, and they're extremely stable in anchor mode. And the clarity is incredible in all the modes. And for those of you who want to ask about motion sickness, these definitely do not give me motion sickness, but I've never gotten motion sickness in any VR headset or anything ever. So your results may vary, don't know. But all in all, my biggest gripe with the glasses would have to be the reflection that you see at the bottom while watching a movie. Like, I can see my cross necklace in the little reflection, but the darker the surroundings, the better your image quality is going to be, obviously. And if you don't have any shiny reflective jewelry or anything that will reflect in the mirror, like I said, this is a reflected image off of a micro LED screen up here that's being transformed in front of your eyes. And it's not that big of a deal. It's definitely not cumbersome, and it's not something that you could even gripe about. I just wanted to mention that and put that in the video so that way you guys are aware that you can see, like, I can see my fingers right here, right now, just like doing this, I can see that. So it is something to get used to, but it's not a deal breaker in the slightest. And you can pick these up for $4.99 right now on Amazon or on their website. I'm gonna have the links in the description below. And look out for the XReal One Pros. Hopefully XReal sends me the Pros so I can compare and contrast the ones and the One Pros when they come out. Linus just took the X1 Pros onto Jimmy Fallon, and I thought that was really cool. I wanna give a special thanks to XReal. Without you guys sending these over to me, I wouldn't be able to make these. And thank you for all your patience that you've had with me. I've been slightly affected by the wildfires out here, had to evacuate for a while. Just recently came back. back. Thank goodness that nothing was burned down. I'm doing perfectly fine. But thanks to XReal for being patient with me on this review, and thank you for sending these out to me. I really appreciate them. You guys know I do not BS when it comes to my reviews. I highly, highly, highly recommend this product. If you guys want, make sure you guys check them out, or stay tuned for the XReal One Pros. They're gonna drop in March. But I think that's all there is to talk about, guys. So I'm going to log off. I'm gonna get back into some games. I'm gonna go back and play some more Star Wars Battlefront 2. I've been obsessed with it recently, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out.